What?
I like the PFF line. Hello and welcome to Dappz Live, the show where we talk about sports, laugh about sports, and if you're PFF, look out. We're going to fuck you up today. Get in the comments now, drop your questions, and we will answer them. Follow the page and be sure to DM us. Today we've got Blackbeard himself. Saying Blackbeard himself is one of my favorite things to say of the week, also known as Dylan.
Hey.
Guys, nobody calls Dylan Blackbeard in his entire life except for me on this show. So you can call him whatever you want. It's encouraged.
Do you think I have too many layers on today?
Yeah, I was noticing that, and it was also frigid in this studio, and I thought maybe he ices it himself out because he's wearing 3 layers. I don't know.
Well, whatever.
Maybe he runs hot.
Yeah.
Let's get to the Unk Bowl. 2 old men face off tonight. Joe Flacco, under center for Cincinnati. This guy, Joe Flacco, he just doesn't die. He might die tonight behind that offensive line. This is an actual depiction of what's going to happen tonight. That's Aaron Rodgers running down the field.
Yep.
Because he still has one Achilles.
Yeah.
Tune in. Aaron Rodgers leads the 4-1 Steelers into Cincinnati to go 5-1.
Yeah. So listen. This is a wild stat here. The combined longevity of these 2 quarterbacks.
It's insane. And it's absolutely insane that somehow they've managed to face off as division rivals on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
It's really remarkable. I mean, combined age of these 2 guys, 81. That's insane.
Yep.
I mean, this number should be in the 40s on average if you combined any 2 players at running back, quarterback, maybe in the 50s. Combined touchdowns, 770. Combined yards, 100. That's a pretty cool stat, though.
Yeah.
That's a flex.
110,000 yards.
Me and you could say, hey, me and this guy, you're at a bar. We threw for a combined 110,000 yards.
Yeah.
So, Bengals are home dogs at 5.5. I want to say the Bengals have no chance, but Joe Flacco is such a wild card. Remember, the Joe Flacco-led Cleveland Browns beat the Super Bowl contending Green Bay Packers, and I like to bring it up every single week for all you Packers fans out there who think tying the Cowboys and losing to the Browns is an acceptable way to get to the Super Bowl. It's not.
No, it is not.
It's not an acceptable way, Dill.
Well, listen, let's get to the tail of the tape, huh?
So Pittsburgh's minus 5.5. I kind of really like that line where it's placed. I think that's appropriate. I think the Steelers win by a touchdown, and you know that's a 1.5 off. I could see a 4-point game. I could see a 3-point game. And to be honest, guys, if somehow the Cincinnati Bengals upset the Pittsburgh Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, would you be surprised? I don't think so. But I think Pittsburgh is a seasoned franchise. They are nothing. They are the opposite, the inverse of the New York Jets. All right? They know how to coach. They have Mike Tomlin. They don't fire him after 5 games, right? They know how to win. Been to the Super Bowl multiple times. I think they're the franchise with either the second or third most Super Bowls in NFL history, 4 in the 70s. And then Roethlisberger won 2.
They've beat the Jets. They've lost to the Seahawks. They've beat the Pats. They beat the Vikings, and they beat the Browns.
Yeah, so 3 really bad teams they beat, right? But 2 pretty good teams. The Vikings have a really strong defense, and the Patriots everybody won't shut the fuck up about. So, I mean, you know,
this line is perfect for this game. This line is absolutely perfect for this game. Who knows?
X13 is calling it the Icy Hot Bowl, which I love. X13.
Yep.
Guys, what else should it be called? Let us know in the comments what the name of this bowl other than the Icy Hot Bowl should be.
Love that.
Listen, I'm a fan. I don't think Rodgers has lost a step, dude. I really don't.
Well, he has though.
Oh, maybe he lost a step. But he's got DK Metcalf, who hasn't lost a step, and he might be the fastest man alive.
Yeah.
So if he can just keep throwing it to him, he got Jalen Warren back. He's got Kenneth Gainwell, who kind of like plugged in a really interesting way.
Kenneth Gainwell, over receptions.
Yeah, over receptions. I mean, over 10 yards, I believe what it is.
Well,
but listen, Aaron Rodgers, like I said, he's a guy who he knows how to win football games. He knows how to play. Has he made some poor decisions on the Jets throwing interceptions? Sure, who hasn't? It's like if you're on the Jets, it's like being poisoned. You know what I mean? Like something inside you isn't right. Your body's not acting normally.
Yeah, and I don't know when that ends, but the Steelers are. You mentioned that they're a franchise with pedigree. They are, but also the Steelers are coached by Mike Tomlin, who, much like the Harbaughs, are. I mean, he's one of the worst coaches in the league. This guy just can't coach the NFL.
Here we go.
It's just crazy.
A lack of ball knowledge.
No, it's not a lack of ball knowledge. Any coach that gets to 10 wins and then just starts eating Hot Pockets is a bad coach. And that's what Mike Tomlin does every single year.
Guys, if you're watching, Dylan has a lack of respect for Super Bowl champion coaches. It's a recurring theme with him. The Harbaughs, now Mike Tomlin's getting shots. As a Jets fan, he doesn't understand this because he's never been through true adversity. I would do anything to have Mike Tomlin as my head coach for the next 10 years. Guaranteed contract.
That's a loser's mindset.
Stability.
Who do you think is a better coach, Mike Tomlin or John or Gannon?
It's not even close.
I think so too. I don't think it's close.
Mike Tomlin is 20 times better than Gannon. We
all
also
right.
are calling this the Senior Citizen Bowl, X13 says.
Yeah, the Hospice Bowl. Let's call it the
Bowl.
Hospice Bowl.
The AARP Bowl. Steve's got it. Let's go. Who do you got, Dill? Tell us what you think.
I have no idea.
You have no
I
idea.
have no idea. I
Okay.
mean, I'd like to bet the money line, but also the odds are not good enough to bet the money line. I could see Joe Flacco. I could see Joe Flacco pulling off a heroic performance and taking the Bengals out on top.
Well, let's do one thing for the people if they're interested in some statistics. In their wins, they beat the Jets by 2 points. They beat the Patriots by a touchdown. They beat the Vikings by a field goal, and they beat the Browns by 2 touchdowns. So 2 of these games, they would have covered the spread, and 2 of them, they would not have covered the spread because the game would be too tight. It would not cover 5.5 against the Jets. It would not cover 5.5 against the Vikings. So you're really not getting a lot of info to tell you.
I'm taking the points. I'm going to go with the Bengals.
I'll tell you something. Taking the points at home with a home team is always the right move.
That's what I'm doing.
It's
I'm
always
taking
the right
points.
move.
Over under 44.5. I can see that going over. This is going to be a bit of a gunslinger game. Jamar Chase is going to get peppered. But let's get to the player props of this game because
player prop time, baby.
Yeah,
player
there's some
prop
interesting
time.
stuff here. Who on this list? Well, this is
This is
anytime
anytime
touchdowns. Who on this list are you liking?
Really, none of them.
Yeah.
The true answer is none.
Right.
But I'm loving Jonnu Smith
Ooh.
because he's such a sneaky little guy that Rodgers can literally throw one pass to him and it's a touchdown pass.
Zach Attack says, how mad would you be if the Steelers got to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, I would be happy. I would be very, very happy. Listen, as a Jets fan, I was telling other Jets fans that Aaron Rodgers got wrapped up in this whole vaccine story, and everybody hated him, which had nothing to do with football. It was all because he wasn't vaccinated, which I thought was absolutely insane.
Well, it's not that he wasn't vaccinated; it's that he was immunized.
That's how he characterized himself. He said I was immunized. Yeah, because listen, when reporters are in your face, you want to clap back at them, and that was his way to do it. And then
reporters are annoying.
They're annoying,
They're
and he
annoying.
was like, "I'm going to be annoying back." And then when you're annoying back, it's like when 2 people are speeding right down the road. The first guy is speeding, next guy's kind of like staying in his lane right next to him. Cop usually gets the second. You know what I mean? The second guy gets pulled over. That's Aaron Rodgers.
Let's get back to the props and jump in the comments. If you like any of these bets, let us know. Jonnu Smith, those are the over. Let's go back to anytime touchdowns real quick, JD. Jonnu Smith at plus 340 is great money. I think Jamar Chase at plus 145 is just kind of great odds for an inevitability.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it was frustrating watching the beginning of last week, but then Joe Flacco started to click with Chase, which, I mean, he ended up having 20 fantasy points out of nowhere.
I think 10 targets.
Jamar Chase, by the way, you want to hear an insane stat, is he's the 5th leading receiver in yards this year.
So crazy.
And you'd think like, well, Burrow went down, he's bottom 20. Like, no, he still has managed. That's how good Jamar Chase is.
That's how good he is.
So he's going to get busy if he can. Steelers. Listen, they do have Jalen Ramsey, though, remember, and he's a pest. He let up some big plays to Garrett Wilson, and then he made big plays at the end of the game.
Yes,
so he can definitely let up some big plays to Jamar Chase.
All right, well, let's look at the yard totals, if that interests you in any way, shape, or form. And again, if any of you sharps out there know the correct bet here, what do you think about T. Higgins 50+ at minus 102?
Hate it.
Hate it.
I kind of like
Hate it.
I kind of like Fant at 25 more than that, right? Because Gesicki's out, right? So their other tight end is out. Fant is a guy who gets these sneaky catches. 25 doesn't seem like a lot. If the Steelers are really trying to press Jamar and T. Higgins on the side of the field, somebody's got to be open in single coverage. I think this really comes down to, like, can Joe Flacco get some time in the pocket, which I don't think he can. If he can, though, I think Fant covers 25 pretty easy.
Saquon Barkley says, I have Jamar Chase with 2 touchdowns and 120 yards. Pretty cool that Saquon Barkley is watching our show.
Saquon, so glad you're watching, bro.
I know, it's really cool.
For you. The Giants, the way they treated you is bullshit.
I think so too. These lines, I don't understand how T. Higgins 50+ is minus 102 and Jaylen Warren 25+ is plus 150.
Like, I
really
sense. Like these, like, Darnell Washington 25 yard, and the only reason I like them is, like, the passes that Aaron Rodgers is going to hit a Darnell Washington with is, like, everybody else is guarded, and I hit Darnell Washington for 20 yards,
right.
And then you have majority of your bet in one catch. So, like,
dude, Saquon's wild with these takes. Aaron Rodgers will throw for 300 yards, 3 TDs, and 1 interception.
I don't think that's that wild, Saquon. I think that's a pretty accurate, like, he's probably going to make one mistake. He always does, right? 3 touchdowns. I think Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns at least once this year.
Well, I'm streaming him in fantasy, but listen, we have more important things to talk about. We have to get to your Spider Leg Parlay.
Guys, let's just get to the bet of the week. It's a lock. All right, and if you have
it's not a lock, but
if you have $10, you can turn it into $200 in less than 3 hours. Where can you do that at? Maybe Wall Street? Probably not. Okay.
No.
Probably not.
What,
now,
trading shit coins?
Yeah. Now,
maybe.
Listen, you want to trade shit coins or do you want to do a Spider Leg Parlay? Let's be real here. Okay, now I want you guys to think about this. Jamar Chase alt over 40 yards. Tell me Jamar Chase is going to get 40 yards, Dale. Honestly, look me in the eye and tell me Jamar Chase is going to get 40 yards.
I can't do it.
You can't do it because remember, we just said he's top 5 in the league in yards, okay? And you don't even know who's been throwing him the ball all year, okay? DK Metcalf, plus 30 yards. DK Metcalf is a gazelle, all right? When he catches the ball, the yards after catch on one catch might be 30 yards because guess what? He had an 80-yard touchdown 2 weeks ago.
He's the most athletic bad wide receiver of all time.
Now let's move to my favorite player on the Steelers, not named Aaron Rodgers, Kenneth Gainwell. Okay, this is a guy who week 1, even when Jaylen Warren was healthy, Gainwell got like 9 attempts. All right, they love to use him on 3rd down. They love to use him on passing situations. Love him to get busy on a screen for 10 yards. Aaron Rodgers, by the way, Saquon Barkley, who's watching our show, by the way.
Yeah, and hang tight.
Saquon Barkley, who was watching our show.
Yep.
Said that Aaron Rodgers was going to pass for 300. I'll do you one better. Slice that in half. Aaron Rodgers, all he has to do is throw for 150 yards.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. The only thing that could possibly happen is that he could rupture his other Achilles on the first drop back, and then you wouldn't hit that. But
Right. That would be unfortunate.
Yeah, can't be paranoid like that, though. Aaron Rodgers, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Love it. Jonnu, anytime. Love it. Jamar, anytime. Love it. And Kenneth Gainwell, maybe the lock of the night, 10+.
I mean, Kenneth Gainwell, he's going to get 9 carries. That means he needs to get 1.2 yards per carry. All right? I like it. I really do like it.
Love it.
With all the injuries piling up, say a prayer for these 2 quarterbacks. If 20-year-olds can get hurt, 40-year-olds can definitely get hurt too.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
The Toronto Blue Jays are all the way back. Big Dumper and the Mariners got dumped on last night.
That stadium is incredible.
13 runs? 13 runs? 13-4 they lost by after absolutely dominating. It seems like a home team just can't seem to win in this playoff. By the way, the Dodgers beat the Brewers twice.
Yep.
Is a pattern about to?
I'm not sure. The Dodgers, fun fact about my Dodgers, they have lost 1 game this postseason.
Unbelievable. And also unbelievable because 2 teams walked in a run against them.
Yeah.
Mariners go up early. Julio Rodriguez homer. Here comes the sweep. Blue Jays answer. Jimenez home run. Luke scores on a wild pitch. George Springer goes yard. And Vladdy almost hits for the cycle.
Yeah.
Almost still.
Yeah, well, we've got a video coming up of this play. It's a really heartbreaking moment for Vladdy Jr. because, he's
and just how it feels as Vlad gets
the ball is peeling underneath the fence. And guess what happens? He stops.
The whole dugout was telling him he got to get to triple for a cycle.
This really pains me. What'd you say? They had 10 runs, Dylan? I mean, you're up by 10 fucking runs. Let the man run. Who cares? Oh, it's the postseason. You have 10 runs, dude. And he would have made it. And you might have had more runs. That's really unfortunate. Only one other player, I believe, hit for the cycle.
Mm-hmm. This has happened once
in postseason history. So Vladdy would have been immediately in the history books. Really unfortunate. Also, got to be so cool for Vlad Guerrero Sr., who I grew up watching, who was an absolute beast, MVP type player every single year.
There's no other person who can hit short hop home runs like Vladimir Guerrero.
But imagine, you're just a ball player, right? You bang up some girl, whether maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your girlfriend.
Did you say bang up?
Yeah, you knock her up. Yeah, it's a movie, knocked up.
You mean make powerful romantic love with a meaningful intention?
Sure, that too. Anyway, you knock her up, right?
Yeah,
and then you pump out this little baby, and you're just balling. You're winning MVPs. Everybody loves you. And then 20 years later, 30 years later, you're watching that little thing that came out of that wonderful love woman that you made love to.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
WLW.
now that little guy is hitting home runs just like you in the playoffs.
It's a beautiful story ruined by an awful man. JD, can we go back to this third base coach, please?
This is him?
This is the man that told him to stay at second base.
I would have been rounding second like this. Right? Just giving him the finger no, I'm going to slide into third base with my finger.
Oh, no, I got out. We're up by 10 runs.
Yeah.
Get out of here. They face off again tonight, though.
Scherzer and Luis Castillo on the mound. Wow, Max Scherzer won't go away. This guy trades teams every 6 months, and somehow he's in the playoffs with every team except the Mets.
Yep.
Luis Castillo on the mound. I mean, Luis has been phenomenal his whole career this year as well. The Mariners are home favorites at -1.5. Dylan, who do you like? I don't know how you take the home team. I don't know how you take the home team.
The only good bet in this postseason is Dodgers to sweep at +800.
That's ridiculous. That's literally ridiculous. But if history repeats itself, by the way, Dodgers won't win at home. They'll only win in Milwaukee. Let's keep this series going. There's too much power on both sides of the ball to not go 7. And who doesn't want to see a 7-game series? That's such a fun thing to watch, that last at bat, right?
Game 7s. If your team is in a game 7, take a beta blocker.
PFF is stupid. We hate PFF here. We've been talking about how ridiculous they are since the start of the season, Dylan. PFF is the nerds' attempt to reign dominion on the real men of this nation. The offensive linemen, the quarterbacks, the warriors of the NFL. PFF does dumb shit all the time. They have attacked players like Josh Allen and J.J. Watt in the past. I just think they're generally wrong.
They are generally wrong, and I gotta say, I love nerds. I'm a nerd. Okay.
Do you?
I don't like evil nerds. There's really nothing worse on planet Earth than an evil nerd, okay?
It's kind of how you feel about Kyler Murray. I get it. Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg, an evil nerd,
right.
Okay? The people at PFF are evil nerds.
They're just evil nerds.
Okay? And they're bad at being nerds. I wanted to show you a little screenshot that we took this morning of PFF's top 3 quarterbacks of the year.
And let's reiterate this. This is PFF's top 3 quarterbacks of the year so far. Coming in at number 3, Dak Prescott.
I'm fine with that.
Which is
Dak's been
kind of
playing
accurate.
incredibly well.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually
Coming in at number 2, Marcus Mariota? What? Number 1, Sam Darnold? What is going on? I don't know how PFF comes up with this stuff. J.J. Watt's not happy about it. Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield. None of them in the top 3.
Let me say this really quickly. Couple things that are super annoying. One, Marcus Mariota's played 2 games, I think. Sam Darnold is in one of the most run-heavy offenses in the NFL. I think they are the most run-heavy offense. Also, you're telling me, evil nerds, that I have to pay to have access to your bullshit? You can't even look at their rankings unless you pay for PFF.
This is ridiculous. Who would pay for this? I don't know. And J.J. Watt's gripe this week was that PFF is nationally televised on games showing it shows a player and then it shows their PFF rank at their position out of, if there's 90 tackles in the league, you're 3 out of 90. And he's basically saying, like, this is all made up. It's completely made up, and their number 2 receiver, PFF's number 2 receiver on the year, is DeAndre Hopkins. And listen, we all love D-Hop, okay? Love the guy. Legend. He's like the 4th receiver on that team.
He's a glue horse. He's a goddamn glue horse.
You want to know their number 1 running back? Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker, who, by the way, could be their number 1 running back if he ran the ball every play.
He doesn't.
But as soon as he's supposed to have a stat that counts like a touchdown, Zach Charbonnet comes in. These grades, like I said, are nationally televised. Let's read out Saquon Barkley's text. What does he say?
Saquon Barkley's top quarterbacks: number 1, Baker; number 2, Mahomes; number 3, Josh Allen. Interesting that he did not put his quarterback in the top 3.
It's interesting that Saquon Barkley in the Dappz Sports TikTok chat is more accurate than PFF. Maybe Saquon Barkley's ranking should be nationally televised every week.
I mean, Saquon Barkley knows ball. But yeah, the big issue is that these grades are nationally televised. Chris Collinsworth every week is like, Patrick Mahomes is 16th in PFF. He's number 1 in my heart.
It's actually hysterical that he throws to them constantly.
Constantly.
Collinsworth is throwing to a stat as if it's true. And if you really, and the crazy thing is when they show a QB, right, and it's like, 12 out of 32 PFF rank. Imagine if they showed you that Marcus Mariota was 2 on national television. Like, imagine if you saw that, you'd be like, this is bullshit.
Well, also, Chris Long was talking about this on his podcast, that they throw 2 graphics that say that Patrick Mahomes is the 16th ranked quarterback by PFF in the NFL. I think it was against the Lions. If you're watching football for the first time, you see Patrick Mahomes, who some would say is the GOAT. They would be wrong. They would be insane. But some people think he's the GOAT, not the 16th ranked quarterback.
Here's the biggest problem, guys, right, is that you have PFF ranking Patrick Mahomes as number 16th quarterback out of whatever quarterbacks there are. But Las Vegas has him as the number 1 favorite to win the MVP.
Make sense.
So that doesn't add up. And listen, if there's a disparity of 3, 4, 5 spots between PFF and Las Vegas or MVP rankings, whatever, they're different ranking systems. So you're 16 spots off and you have Marcus Mariota and Sam Darnold ranked above Mahomes? What are we talking about? And to be honest, having Josh Allen ranked where he's at, I don't know where he's at actually, but having Josh Allen ranked outside the top 3, he's really had 2 bad weeks in a row, right? So, he hasn't been playing well. So, I think that PFF ranking can change over the course of a couple weeks.
We don't know where he's ranked at because you have to pay to see where they rank him.
Pay PFF to see their horrible made-up things. I mean, just all you have to do is DM Saquon Barkley on TikTok, and he'll tell you what the actual rankings are.
Exactly.
J.J. Watt said Uber drivers review broadcast film and also work for PFF. So, let's stop with the shit. Stats so far, everybody who's watching, we wanted to give you actual statistics because PFF is so ludicrous and their takes are so horrible that we thought, why don't we show the actual statistics of these players? And then you can get a more accurate read on oh, this is number QB1. This is QB2. This is QB3, right?
Yeah, we're about halfway through the NFL season or getting close to it. And so I think we have a good sample size of who actually are the top performing positional athletes in the NFL. Starting off with Matthew Stafford, number 1 ranked in passing yards. The throws that this guy is making at his age are superhuman.
Remember when you thought you didn't want to be anywhere near him because he had back problems?
Yep.
Yeah.
The nerds told me that.
The nerds told you. And this is why the nerds need to go. And also, I've seen some interesting takes on social over the last week about how all these fantasy experts all make these lists, by the way, and generally, like, they're all the same, right? Like, majority of the lists are the same, and how wrong a lot of them are. Right? How fucking wrong a lot of them are. But let's get back to Matthew Stafford, because this guy is number 1 in passing yards and also number 4 in touchdowns, 2 behind Jared Goff, the leader, which I think, not to say is a surprise. I just think when you think, oh, who threw the most touchdowns on the year, you would not guess Jared Goff. That would be your first guess.
No, and this also came from a couple of broken games. The Bears.
Sure. I mean, they also had a 50-point game, right?
Yeah.
I think he had a 5-touchdown game. So,
Yep.
No disrespect to Jared Goff. Listen, he's on the Lions. They score 3, 4, 5 touchdowns a game. It's not really surprising that Goff's up here. Dak Prescott coming in at 2nd in passing yards and 2nd in touchdowns. Very, very impressive. And it's looking like there's 3 names here that you got to watch out for. Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, and Baker Mayfield. And by the way, Baker Mayfield and Dak Prescott through 6 weeks have been mentioned alongside Patrick Mahomes as MVP favorites. I'm curious as to why has Matthew Stafford not been mentioned? Because when you look at this and think about it, you're 1st in passing yards, you're 4th in touchdowns, but you're 2 off the top guy. So one good game, Stafford could have the most passing yards and the most touchdowns and a better record. And not that he doesn't have players. He's got Puka, he's got Kyron, he's got Devontae, but he's the leader of the offense.
Tell me why Patrick Mahomes is favored to be MVP when he's not even in the top 5 of any of these metrics. Moving on.
Now we're going to go to yards per attempt and passer rating per player. And surprise, surprise, Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP, who got a 3rd MVP from what Dylan calls voter fatigue, should have won 3 MVPs, is the highest rated passer. This is a guy who they said was a running back who could not pass the ball. Again, the nerds. The nerds said that. They're idiots. And maybe it was the coaches. Maybe it wasn't the nerds. Maybe it was the scouts, who technically aren't nerds. They're just idiots. They're old
Great
school.
couple of comments. David Gray said Baker is obviously MVP at this point. A guy with a period in his username said Lamar has 10 touchdowns and he only played 4 weeks.
Let's be real, guys. Lamar Jackson would be towards the top of the list had he not. And by the way, Lamar Jackson can still win MVP.
Did he play 4 weeks? I didn't think he played that many.
I think he got hurt in the 4th game against the Chiefs.
Steven said Jordan Love for MVP.
Jordan Love, no chance, buddy. Guys, listen, no disrespect, Steven, but I want to tell you 2 things that I say every week on this show. Jordan Love tied the Cowboys. Jordan Love lost to the Browns. Jordan Love has got to climb up Mount Everest with skis on his back and then ski down the mountain. Ski down Mount Everest to win the MVP. Yards per attempt, Darnold, then Lamar, then Jordan Love, then Drake May, then Daniel Jones. Passer rating, Lamar, Goff, Darnold, Drake May, and Love.
816 Sports Card says Mahomes is 2nd in quarterback total yards because he's been rushing a lot, and top 10 in passing yards and passing touchdowns. He's also a bitch.
Well, don't tell that to whoever said that in the chat. All right, let's go to the next slide.
Okay,
rushing yards, guys. To no surprise, who also is an MVP candidate, if you ask me, Jonathan Taylor, most rushing yards. And by the way, not having a running back in this discussion right now, when you see these, the most rushing yards, the most rushing touchdowns, and your team is 5-1, and you're not mentioned in the top 5 of MVP, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Rushing touchdowns, Josh Jacobs is actually who's carrying the Packers, not Jordan Love.
I agree with that.
Josh Jacobs is the workhorse. He's an absolute beast. He's absolutely incredible to watch. I would not want to tackle Josh Jacobs. James Cook coming in at 2nd on rushing yards. No surprise there. Bijan 3rd. Javonte, Rico Dowdle. I think those bottom two are very surprising to everybody.
Super surprising, and think about what Rico Dowdle has cemented himself in the top 5 rushing yards on the back of 2 games. 2 games.
Well, what I really don't like is that the Panthers are openly saying now that they don't think they're going to commit to Rico Dowdle when Chuba comes back. It's like, what are you talking about? He's rushing for 200 yards per game.
Perfect example here.
Guess what? When a guy rushes for 200 yards per game, you keep him in, and Chuba gets subbed in. That's what happens. He's the sub-in.
Yeah. Is Rico tired? Then tell him to keep
Rico
playing.
needs some water, Chuba.
Right.
Go, and if you break it for 10 yards, you get an extra play.
818 Sports Cards grew up in KC. The hate Mahomes gets is very similar to the hate Brady got. I don't blame you guys. LOL 9797 says Rico or Diggs. It's very obvious right now. It's Rico.
You have to start Rico. You have to until they sub Chuba in. Chuba. I don't know how to say his name. I'm never gonna care. I'm calling him Chuba. All right.
All right. Let's get to the next.
And by the way, Jalen Hurts and Scadaboo round out that 5 touchdown. Very interesting. It's not really interesting with Hurts, but Scadaboo. Surprise.
Scadaboo's touchdowns are all 1 yard, 2 yards, 4 yards. It's pretty insane. Hit the receiving yards.
Receiving yards, guys. JSN, no surprise. Puka, no surprise. George Pickens, a little of a surprise only because CD's on the team, but guess what? He went down. I don't think anybody's surprised that George Pickens is doing what he's doing. And like we said, Egbuka and Jamar Chase, who everybody was writing off once Burrow went down. Jamar Chase, that shows you the power of LSU and the receivers they put out there. Absolutely incredible what Jamar Chase has done with the little Giants quarterback that he's using.
He is in the top 5 of receiving yards with Jake Browning as his quarterback for most of the season.
Receiving touchdowns, Pickens is at the top with St. Brown, Egbuka, who just went down, Goddard, and Adunze. And Adunze, guys, is really Caleb's favorite target. This is a guy who I think in fantasy next year after is going to be, top 1, top 2 rounds.
Free bleach shot says Kendrick Bourne or Cade Otton. It's Kendrick Bourne all day.
It's Kendrick Bourne. So Pearsall's still out, guys. Listen, with your Kendrick Bourne starts, anybody who's picking him up, listen, Kittle's definitely going to eat into target share for sure.
Hi, Bryce Press.
Say it again?
Hi, Bryce Press.
Oh, hey, Bryce Press. Is definitely going to eat into target share, but you know what? He's going to eat into Tongas's target share, so I don't see that taking a ton of looks away from Kendrick Bourne. While Mac Jones is in, Kendrick Bourne is his favorite target. It's not up for debate. He's getting targeted 10 times a game. He has fantasy points in the teens every week he's played with Mac Jones.
Yeah, and I don't even think that Kittle's going to play this weekend. So.
Yeah, so if Kittle doesn't play, I'm pretty sure they're playing the Falcons in a dome. So give me Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne for another week. Listen, and even if Jawan Jennings was healthy, I don't care. I'm still starting Bourne because Mac Jones has better chemistry with him.
Yep.
And listen, when Ayuk comes back, that's a whole different story. Pearsall, I don't even know if Pearsall came back. Once you have chemistry with a player, Mac Jones, not that he's not going to pass to Pearsall, but in his head he's going, I know Kendrick. I know this route. I know he's going to be open.
Every Bourne route is a hot route.
Every Bourne route is a hot route.
All right, last set of stats here.
Yards per carry being Vidal is hysterical after 1 week. He gets all the way up there. Yards per reception. Thornton on the Chiefs, which, he's kind of like not a boomer bust player, but when he scores a touchdown, he's a nice flex play.
This is a PFF set of stats here.
Yeah, this is what PFF makes their rankings off of. And listen, while this is like fun to look at and analyze, Thornton, what are we talking about? If you get targeted 3 times a game and you score a touchdown 1 out of 3, like that's cool, but you should not be up on the PFF list. Absolutely ridiculous. What are the comments we got, Dill?
We got Odunze got robbed last week. Yes, he did. Jags beating the Rams with Puka being out, even though Puka hasn't been ruled out. He's out. High ankle sprains are no joke. Tez Johnson getting points this week. Yeah, he's the only. Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, I know everybody's all over Tez Johnson because he made that incredible catch, but I do want you to look at the other Johnson. So he was the one who Baker targeted more that game, right? So while Tez did get loose for that deep touchdown, that's not always the guy who you want to pick up. You want to pick up the guy who Baker is targeting the most, which I believe is going to be either Sterling Shepard or I think his name is Caleb Johnson also.
Yeah.
I believe his name is Caleb Johnson also. So just a guy to look at, and please, please, please pay attention to the Bucs this week because they're going to score. Baker's going to score touchdowns, and he's got to throw to Shepard. He's got to throw to or one of the Johnsons, right, or Kate Otten.
Heartbreaking stuff from Marsh. The Bears. Where did it go? He said that his tickets got destroyed. Oh, 9-ball wizard. Thornton busted all my tickets on Sunday night. 0 yards. The Bears playing the Saints. Anyone on the offense is bound to be a gold mine this week. For running backs from Juju 35th, do I play Javonte Williams or Kyron Williams?
That's
a tough one.
Who's in your flex, dude, and who's the rest of your running backs? You should be playing both of those guys.
Yeah, I would say so too. Who do the Rams have this week? The Rams have the Jags. I would play Javonte.
I'd play Javonte because those London games are really weird. They're really weird. They're never high scoring. They're never fun. They're always stupid. They're always a stupid, boring game. And guys, those are real stats, by the way, that we just showed you. They're not PFF bullshit. Okay. So, again, I think the biggest stat to look at, especially for fantasy, is who is the quarterback targeting? Who is the quarterback targeting the most? Figure that out. Number one. Number two, who is the coach giving the ball to rushing attempts, right? Who's getting the rushing attempts? All right. So when I saw Haskins and Vidal, right, for the Chargers, when Hampton went down, I went to Haskins. He had one more attempt that game than Vidal. I tried to pick them both up in multiple leagues. I only got Haskins in 2.
Wrong choice.
Wrong choice. And one attempt is not the answer. But if you had a 10 attempts versus 5, that's pretty telling.
Jump in the comments really quickly. Free Bleach. Do I start Bam Knight over Ken Walker, Charbonnet, or Henderson? Bam Knight is you better hope that he gets a goal line carry. And
I'm telling you, whenever you bench Kenneth Walker, he's going for 20 points. I'm just letting you know. So if you've already eaten bad weeks of Kenneth Walker, play him.
Genty and Warren in his flex. I would. Wow, that's that's Javonte, Kyron, Jalen, and
how do you have Warren in your flex? Who's your tight end?
And Genty.
Oh, Jalen Warren? No, Jalen Warren's not playing. Genty, you got to put Genty, Williams, and Williams in.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you got to bench Jalen Warren.
And hey, trade one of those guys. Let's get some stuff in.
Yeah, Jalen Warren. We don't even know how healthy he is. So, possible NFL trades, guys. Let's go over them. The trade deadline is approaching, and ESPN, some really stupid trades.
Yeah.
This is just criticizing ESPN because this is ridiculous. These are not our trades. I'm going to bring you cooler trades. All right, guys, we're going to bring you. Dylan and I can put together. We can make up trades that are cooler than this.
Jackson Smith and Jigba to the New England Patriots.
That's literally insane.
Watch that.
But more fun than this. Okay, Colts. Don't find a chair, guys. Sit down for this one, okay?
We should say really quickly that
please make sure you're seated for what I'm about to tell you.
ESPN has put out a column that has evidently some insider information and is throwing out trades that have a real possibility of happening.
Not to toot my own horn here, and I don't use this as often as I should, but I have a direct line through one person to Adam Schefter. So, I'm 2 text messages away from Adam Schefter, right? Mm-hmm. So I can't text Adam Schefter, but if there's really something, I need a fantasy.
Hit Shefty for me.
Hey, dude, can you let me know who's getting traded, a week early or 3 days early so I can do something, right?
And what did Schefter have to do to get all this information?
Right, so I can, basically what I'm saying is I could verify this insider bullshit, okay?
And get in the comments, let us know. Do you have a team that you need that needs pieces? What trades do you want to see happen in the NFL?
Okay, now, the trade deadline. Let's talk about, again, please find a chair, all right? Hold your heart right now. The Colts would make a trade, and the trade would possibly be a 7th-round pick for Russell Danger Wilson. Who the fuck put this on the list?
Well, listen, Anthony Richardson's eye exploded over the weekend. He is going to be out for at least 4 weeks, but possibly the remainder of the season because something came off the wall and almost blinded him for the rest of his life. So they need to shore up their quarterback room. A New York Giant is going to follow Indiana Jones to Indianapolis.
Dude, just trade Russ to – they could have – you know what would have been cool? If he went to the Bengals and he could throw to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Right.
If he goes to the Saints, he's got Chris Olave and Shaheed.
Right.
Just Let free Russ, let him go. You don't need him. You got Dart. You have Jameis as a backup. You could probably get something for him. I don't know why we're talking about Jameis Winston. Is insane. The next blockbuster trade we're going to talk to you guys about is the 37-year-old Taysom Hill reuniting with Sean Payton in Denver.
Freshly
Let's talk
torn
about
Achilles.
the Who Fucking Cares Bowl. All right.
Yeah.
Sean for a 6th-round pick. What insider is giving us access to this incredible information?
I actually kind of like this trade. I think that Taysom Hill keeps defenses on their toes. I think Evan Ingram is a bag of dog shit.
37 years old, coming off an ACL tear. Dill.
Well, still, I think he's a Swiss.
Still? No, there's no still. It's over, bro.
I think he's a Swiss Army knife of a tight end. He could
He's
play
the
quarterback.
guy who holds the clipboard next to the coach now. That's his role, all right? And by the way, pay him $5 million a year. Pay him $10 million a year. I don't care, all right?
Oh, Marsh0133 says, maybe not this season. In the offseason, can see Rams getting Richardson.
Which Richardson?
Which Richardson?
Anthony
Richardson?
The Rams? Are you saying because Stafford's old and decrepit and they need a new quarterback?
Stafford's throwing into windows that no one should ever throw into, and he doesn't even think twice about it.
And by the way, like, if Stafford is healthy, why would he retire? He's the leading pass. He has the most passing yards in the league. Why would he retire? He's like
also,
the LeBron James of the NFL right now with 3 less championships.
If there's one thing we know about NFL quarterbacks is they don't like being with their family. Sorry, they don't like it.
Hey, you just turned that into a PSA 9.
That's my Jalen Miller.
Chargers shore up their running back with the 3rd blockbuster of ESPN's Insider, Jerome Ford for a 6th-round pick. Guys, I'm a Jets fan, and I hope the Jets trade Breece Hall to the Chargers because I like Breece Hall. We have 2 really solid young running backs.
Love that trade.
But we have Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis, who they like. Listen, I'd rather keep Breece than those 2 guys, but not with this organization, not with this coaching staff. I hope Garrett Wilson gets freed because our team's an absolute joke. I'd love to see Breece Hall next to Justin Herbert. That would be absolutely bonkers. And then if Hampton comes back and you're in the playoffs and you have to deal with Breece Hall, Hampton, Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston, that might be the best offense in the entire league.
Some fan comments. 9-Ball Wizard says, "Shit, you're so right. Taysom Hill is so old."
And by the way, I'm a big Taysom Hill guy, but guess what? When I looked him up when he was coming off injury, I'm like, how old is Taysom Hill? He's 37 years old, guys.
Marsh0133 says, "You're a Jets fan. Damn, Bears fan here. Sorry for the Fields roller coaster." And Juju35 says, "How do you like Fields? Glad we got rid of him."
Yeah, I felt really bad for Fields when he was on your team because with Eberflus, I know you guys hated that man, and now the Cowboys hate him too because he's an idiot. I think we could all coach better. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I think Justin Fields has had horrible situations, except for a little 6-game pocket of being with the Steelers where he looked great, and then they let that idiot Russ back in.
Bad coach.
And now, and by the way, and it looks like Justin Fields is the common denominator of being bad, but the Jets' offensive play calling is so horrible that I don't put this on Justin Fields. And now he's saying, he just made a statement, I'm being a little conservative. So, like, you could tell that means the coaching is fucking with him.
Yeah.
They're telling him to play a certain way. You are 0-6. I'd like them to throw a Hail Mary on the first play of the game. Air the ball out. Screw it. Who cares?
This is Vladdy Jr.'s third base coach telling him to stop.
This is what I hate about football is this exact scenario, right? You're not playing to win the game. You're playing not to lose, okay? You're oh, well, I don't want Justin Fields to throw an interception, so we're going to run the ball. Fuck that. Start the game with a long, deep pass. Then go into play action. Let the kid play backyard football now. You're 0-6.
Hey,
I don't care if we throw 5 touchdowns and throw 3 interceptions every game. That would be more fun to watch than what I'm watching as a Jets
Can we
fan.
get to the only trade that actually might be blockbuster?
Sorry for the Jets rant. And congratulations, guys, to Bears fans, because I really I looked for what you have now, which is you've got Caleb Williams, right? And I think Justin Fields could have been really cool in Ben Johnson's offense too. But you got Ben Johnson, and I was worried about you guys in the first game or two, and then it all started to come together. Caleb's getting better. Caleb's feeling more comfortable in the pocket. You have Roma Dunze. You have DJ Moore. You have Burden. You have DeAndre Swift looks great. The Bears look good. But we're going to move to the one ESPN trade that may have made a little more sense than the other three. Kyler Murray to the Raiders for Geno Smith, second, third, and 2026 second-round pick?
Yep.
Oh, and a 2027 second-round pick.
Yep.
This would be interesting. Kyler has kind of had weapons his whole career, and he's only had like 1 or 2 seasons where he looked like the real Kyler Murray. Besides that, he looked like a short little elf who was evil. Maybe he works for PFF. I don't know.
We got duped yesterday into breaking this news live on the show.
Yeah, we'd like to apologize, guys. We got duped by an X or Twitter story that said this happened yesterday. It didn't happen. It was just a rumor. Kyler Murray's still a Cardinal, but maybe he'll be a Raider next week.
I think this is going to happen. I think that Gannon, we'll talk about Gannon tomorrow, who's just the biggest poopy pants I've ever seen in the
He's
NFL.
a pooper scooper. He's
so annoying. Hey, guy. Maybe smile one time in your life.
Smile.
Jonathan Gannon, when did you take emotion out of the game? When our quarterback went to jail. Next question. I mean, the guy's so annoying. But I do think that he hates Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray.
Which quarterback went to jail?
Michael Vick.
Oh.
He was talking about Michael Vick. Fast forward.
Wait, Gannon was on the Falcons back then?
Evidently, yeah.
Wow.
And fast forward, your current quarterback is wearing a Michael Vick jersey, taking photos with pit bulls.
Jesus Christ. The thing, you learn something new every day, guys. Dear Raiders, do not do this. Don't do it. Tua Tagovailoa did another press conference under the influence of CTE.
Yep, CTE is not something to drive or do press conferences under the influence.
Tua Tagovailoa is bad on the field and off. This past weekend, accused teammates of missing meetings. He's back at the podium today, apologizing.
Mistake, and I'm owning up to that right now. I've talked to guys on the team about it, talked to the leaders about it, and that.
Can't see it on TikTok, so let's just let me just.
The more I watch Tua Tagovailoa deal, because I'd like to get your color on this.
Yeah.
The intent can be right, but when things get misconstrued or however the media wants to portray it, that leaves a void of silence and a lot of questions for the guys on our team. Now, being 1-5, we talk a lot about. All right, we got to get
Dolphins
this
a team that could really be 3-3.
Okay, enough
As
Tua.
I watch Tua every week, he seems like he's a nice guy. He wants to do the right thing. He's just not the sharpest tool in the shed, Dill.
No. This tool has been banged against every wall and every brick in this shed. I feel horrible for Tua. He does seem like a sweetheart. I do want to break down one statistic and one comparison. It's actually pretty crazy. So Tua, if we get the graphic of Tua compared to a Big Mac. So
we have a graphic of Tua.
We have a graphic of Tua being compared to a Big Mac. Yeah.
Okay.
So a Big Mac meal, a Big Mac meal cannot throw a ball. But
can we get this on TikTok so they can see it? Okay.
Yeah, they got it. A Big Mac meal cannot throw a ball, has zero vision, but it does make people happy, and also only costs $12.
Right.
Tua Tagovailoa costs $200 million. Cannot throw a ball, has zero vision. He actually makes people mad. So I don't know about you. I'll take the Big Mac meal.
Yeah. And long term, it's either you get diabetes or CTE, right? So like those are like long term side effects of both, but one of them is $12. One of them costs. So what they're trying to say is that had the Dolphins purchased a cheeseburger,
well, a double cheeseburger,
excuse me, and put it on the field, they might have the same results. I mean, at this point, like, you could have just played Zach Wilson and had the same record.
Yeah, I think so. And it's really sad, but it's important to remember that diabetes can be helped with insulin, and Ozempic. CTE cannot be helped with anything.
I guess my question though is, at what point as a coach, you're working for a franchise, you got higher ups, where you go, listen, we're 1-4. Listen, we're 2-4. Listen, we're 2-3. Division looks hard. I'm just going out there, play one, and I'm slinging the fucking rock. And if we throw 4 touchdowns and throw 2 interceptions and lose, it's a tragedy. It's a Shakespearean tragedy, right? But what you're watching is just like fucking watching paint dry on a wall, Dylan. Like, what are we doing? Every team comes out, most boring first half I've ever watched, and then you're scrambling in the second half to maybe put something together. And I'll even reference the Buffalo Bills, who don't typically do this. On Monday night, the Buffalo Bills are at the 50-yard line no less than 3 times. They're at the 50-yard line with a 4th and 2, 4th and 3, 4th and 5. You have Josh Allen on your team. Reigning MVP, Josh Allen, and you're punting the ball. What are we doing? Because you're worried that the other team's going to score, which, by the way, they did score anyway. So instead of giving your team a chance, and this is what everybody hated Brady and Belichick, and everybody hates Mahomes and Reed. But guess what? They fucking go for it, bro. And if you get 1 out of 3 and end up turning that drive into a touchdown, you change the whole momentum of the game.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
your favor.
look at Soup Dan Campbell.
Such a cool guy.
Look at that guy.
I wish that guy was my dad.
Yeah, me too, dude.
Or at least your cool uncle who comes over for dinner once a month. You know what I mean?
Dad.
Dad.
Listen, the only point of contention I have is that 2 is not a Shakespearean tragedy because that's usually defined as heights to lows. This is more like mediocre to low, so it's not really that big of a tragedy. But
the only height is that like they come back in the 4th quarter, take the lead with 2 minutes left,
right,
and then lose.
I will say I want to put an embargo on us making fun of Tua. I actually feel really bad, and he's a sweet guy, and I shouldn't have brought that Big Mac thing to the...
I don't want to make fun of Tua at all. There's no bone in my body that wants to... But no, you have to bring up the Big Mac graphic.
Let's just bring it up one more time, JD, because we're going to end the show. I just want to see the graphic one more time,
JD,
okay?
Again, guys, this is Big Mac versus Tua. And what they both produce. Again, they both cannot throw a ball. They both have zero vision. One of them makes you happy. One of them makes you mad. One of them is $12. One of them is $212 million.
You make the decision. That's our show.
Guys, that's our show. Dappz Live every day at 12 p.m. Be sure to check out our gambling and fantasy content at Dappz Sports on YouTube. Up or down Thursdays at noon. We will see you tomorrow.